With E3 just around the corner, people are beginning to speculate on what we will see at the show and who will have the best conference. Last year, to me at least, it was apparent that Nintendo had captivated their audience the best with their Direct. I mean, Metroid Prime 4 and a console Pokemon game were announced for the Switch. That's some stiff competition. But can the Big N replicate their showing from last year? They have been on a roll the last couple showings, so I believe Nintendo can. And I'm going to tell you how they can do it. Here are 10 ways Nintendo can win E3. The Paper Mario series is held very closely to many players' hearts, mainly Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. It is heralded for its memorable characters, humorous dialogue, and turn-based combat system. But as the years have gone by, Nintendo has strayed away from what gamers loved most about the series and tried to mix up the formula a bit. Super Paper Mario released on the Wii and fans said it was good but not great. Then after 5 years of waiting, fans were giving the horrifying pile of dog crap that was Sticker Star. Well, that's at least how many hardcore Paper Mario fans would describe it. Then 3 years after that, Color Splash released on Wii U and fans were mostly disappointed once again. This series has an extremely dedicated fan base that is starving for some Paper Mario. This would be the perfect time for Nintendo to go back to their roots with the series and give fans exactly what they want. They've already done it with Zelda and Breath of the Wild and Mario and Odyssey, so why not with this series? Even a reboot would be fantastic, as long as they bring back that turn-based combat system that we all love and throw all the stickers in the garbage. Fans will be happy. As I stated before, the Direct from last year's E3 had the internet going bonkers over the announcement of Metroid Prime 4. We had been speculating for some time when or if Nintendo would bring the franchise back, and to our dismay, there was a teaser shown of just the title as if they were saying, yes, we're working on it, now shut up already. But an entire year has passed and we have had no images, trailers, or leaks, so I have to believe now is the time for an official trailer. The Prime series isn't something to look over at all. The original on the GameCube is often named one of the greatest games ever made, so when something like this gets announced, you better pay attention. Now Retro is not working on this entry and instead is taking a crack at something else that I will get to in a minute. It seems that Bandai Namco is developing Prime 4, which threw me off at first. But they did such a great job with Smash for Wii U that I have the utmost trust in them. People went crazy over last year's teaser trailer, so just imagine how happy fans will be to see an official trailer. I know I will be excited. Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Switch has already been confirmed to be at E3, but other than a teaser trailer and a release date of 2018, we do not know much about the game. I'm sure that we'll get a truckload of information in the Direct, including new characters, stages, and items. But what could absolutely hammer the audience with excitement would be a release date in September alongside their online system. Nintendo absolutely needs a multiplayer game to release alongside the online infrastructure to push Switch owners to purchase it. They can't just rely on Splatoon 2 players because that game released last year and so many people have put it back on the shelf for good. Super Smash Bros. Is Nintendo's flagship multiplayer title that always sells incredibly well. So an extremely close release date of September would absolutely deliver the goods and make me and others want to purchase their online service. And let's be honest, a bunch of NES titles I have already bought on other systems is not enough for me, but a promise of an excellent online Smash experience definitely does it. There have been some rumors circulating over Retro's newest game, and surprisingly enough, it might be a Star Fox title, a racing game to be exact. Star Fox Grand Prix, as the rumor suggests the title is, takes many aspects from Diddy Kong Racing and will feature a story mode and boss battles. Now as much as I love Diddy Kong Racing, this kind of disappointed me at first. I mean, Retro is responsible for creating Metroid Prime, one of the greatest games ever made. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, one of the greatest platformers ever made. So why make a racing game? Couldn't Retro's talent be used on an entirely new series? But after some contemplation, I have to have some faith in Retro. They're an excellent development studio and has the experience to back it up. They have really never made anything under average. The Metroid Prime trilogy is universally loved. Both Donkey Kong Country games were fantastic. They even helped develop my favorite Mario Kart on the 3DS. So while I wish they were creating an entirely new franchise, Retro can still knock it out of the park on any game they get their hands on. With the release of Breath of the Wild last year, Nintendo has brought in many more players to the Zelda series. The game has gone on to become the best-selling title in the franchise and is still flying off store shelves. So now that there is a whole new audience, it would be the perfect time to come out with a new 2D game for the Switch. A Link Between Worlds was a fantastic game and introduced so many new concepts to the series. It played like an entirely different experience, even though the overworld map was almost exactly the same as A Link to the Past. Link being able to warp into walls and traverse new areas was a genius idea that I think might stay within the 2D games. If that rumor of a Link's Awakening remake / reimagining is true, then that could steal the show for so many viewers. So many people have Link's Awakening at the top of their list when discussing their top Zelda games, and it could recapture that experience just like A Link Between Worlds recaptured the Super Nintendo Classic. But if the game releases only on 3DS, then we're gonna have to riot. Nintendo has some of the most cherished video games in their catalog, and we have seen over the past 10 years that they love giving their audience opportunities to play them. Since the Nintendo Wii, every console released has had virtual console games in some way. They have even created dedicated systems with the sole purpose of playing classic games. But now that we know the virtual console is gone, what will happen to all the playable classics? Well, if there is a rebrand and Nintendo focuses on providing great emulation to some of their best games, then we could see a reaction just like we had when Virtual Console was released on the Wii. The emulation on the Wii U was a big problem to not only me, but I'm sure many other gamers. A lot of games were significantly darker for some reason, and it really wasn't a great way to experience classic games. Now, if Nintendo came out and said that they have created a great emulation system, dropped a bunch of stellar titles, and even promised that GameCube games were on the way, many of us will be very excited. We have heard all the rumors, we've seen all the trademarks, it's inevitable. The N64 Classic will be announced and is going to be glorious. My favorite console of all time comes back, in mini form. While the console has many games that would be very difficult to port over because of licensing issues, there is still a plethora of fantastic titles that could release with the mini console. So many people have great memories of playing the greatest couch multiplayer console of all time. Imagine this, they released the N64 Mini along with not 2, not 3, but 4 controllers packed in, and you can play the original Super Smash Bros. With all your buddies once again. What Nintendo has done so well with these classic consoles is tug on your nostalgia heartstrings. We saw it with the 80s themed commercials for the NES Mini, the over-the-top and zany SNES ads, and we will see it again for the N64. And there is nothing more nostalgic to me than booting up Ocarina of Time while holding that fork-like controller. Now the question is, will I actually be able to purchase one at launch? Who the hell knows? This is more of a personal thing to me. You might hate Pikmin, but if they announce Pikmin 4, then Nintendo won E3 in my eyes. Well, they would have to announce some other stuff too, but it would still be great. I was a late arriver to the series. My first Pikmin game was the third entry on the Wii U. I have some fantastic memories of just laying in bed, playing on the gamepad, and exploring all of what that tiny world provides. There was just something so relaxing about that game that just put me in a fantastic mood. Hell, I remember waking up really early in the morning one day, making some coffee and playing Pikmin 3 for a couple hours because it puts me in such a great mood. We already know that Pikmin 4 has been in development for quite a while now. Miyamoto was even stated saying that the game is almost finished. But where has it been? I think Nintendo has been waiting for the perfect place to release it, and this summer seems like the best spot. How awesome would a full reveal of the game be, and then say, guess what? It's out in a month. The Big N has been announcing short release windows lately, and this seems like an awesome move. Nintendo has always loved bundles. Starting from the NES and on, every single console to date has had some official bundle. But what can make this bundle different from the others is that they can include a game while keeping the price at $300. The Switch has been out for over a year now, and consumers are playing their games any way they would like. Some like to dock their Switch at home, some enjoy having the combination of docking and undocking, but there is a large crowd of Nintendo fans who have never even taken it out of the original box, and this is where the bundle comes in. A new Super Mario Odyssey or Zelda bundle without the dock could be a big player. The dock is currently being sold around the internet for about $60. Excluding it and adding in a game for the regular $300 could be an incredible consumer-friendly move, and I have to believe would push even more Switches off the shelves. But it does take the whole Switch gimmick away, so I don't know if Nintendo would push that idea very hard. You are damn right a new Mario Golf game would light up the E3 conference. The Mario sports titles can be a hit or miss a lot of times, but when they hit damn hard. And we are seeing this with the amount of praise the Mario Tennis Aces demo is receiving right now. Coming from someone who has put countless hours into the Mario Golf series, it is time for another rendition. World Tour was a fantastic rendition on the 3DS, but it has been over 4 years now since its release, and I'm craving some more golf. And once again, the Switch would be the perfect platform for the game. Take it to your friend's house and play around. Got time at the coffee shop? Play around. On the toilet? Play around. Really, I can't think of one scenario where I wouldn't be playing Mario Golf on my Switch. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below on what you think would be a fantastic announcement at Nintendo's E3 Direct. As always, make sure to check out HeyPoorPlayer.com for all your gaming news, reviews, and features. I'll see you next time.